Okay, on to match 3 on Vintage Dredge. We lost match 1 against a Esper Stoneforge deck, and then we won match 2 against the Mirror. And we're playing against Brian Kelly, which is someone that I know what he's going to be on. He's probably going to be on Kelly Oath. But he's not somebody that I'm particularly keen on playing against. For starters, Oath has a pretty good game 2 and 3 against Dredge. They get to play a lot of hard Grave Hate, which is considerably harder to beat, so they'll be playing Tormod's Crypts, etc. And on top of that, we just know he's better than us. And this isn't the worst. We get to have a petrified field, so it's a little slower than might be ideal. But the petrified field will be helpful. So it looks as if he was deciding whether or not to say Brainstorm or A-Call at the end of his turn, where we would have misstepped an A-Call, probably let a Brainstorm resolve. And he might just be playing out Oath here. It's pretty safe for him to do so. He knows if we're playing Bazaar on turn 1, we're trying to get as many creatures. Oh, so Sorcerer's Spyglass. So that's going to be really unpleasant for us. And makes our petrified field look pretty awful. Because now we're going to have to slow Dredge, which might be enough. It's a very bad second turn play for us. Okay, so far this isn't the worst. I can't see what the last card there was. Ah, it's an Icarid. So I think we're in trouble from here. We probably need to flashback therapy targeting ourselves to take Stinkweed Imp and hope it resolves. Because this is the only way we're going to get to keep dredging. And we're just holding the petrified field here. The reason we're holding that is just so that if we hit a couple of Bloodghast or similar, then we get to trigger them. Okay, and this will, I assume, be a Jace. Oh no, okay, so it's an Oath of Druids. And a Time Walk. Which I think is very bad news for us. And I feel like Grizzlebrand will more or less close this up. I don't think we can race him without an active Bazaar. So unfortunately our opponent here more or less just had something very close to the nuts. So between having Sorceress, Spyglass, Time Walk and Oath, they left us in a very tough position. And I don't think we really had any way to play around it, so I suspect I'll also get to Yorgwill Time Walk next turn and swing for 14. Which I think should be enough to close it out. Actually, he can't Yorgwill Time Walk unless he wants to... Okay, he needs Force of Will to be able to do that, just to deal with Mindbreak Trap. Or Flusterstorm, that'll do the job as well. Okay, now he gets to Time Walk. And trigger Oath again. So I really think we should just be conceding here. And I think what this means is that he can do something like, if he so chose, trigger Oath, Inferno Titan. And if he chooses for Inferno Titan as well, then he could have hard cast an Inferno Titan, so triggered Inferno Titan off Oath, hard cast an Inferno Titan, and then attacked us with Grizzlebrand. So done a 6 from 2 Inferno Titans and swung with Grizzlebrand. Instead he's probably got something slightly less convoluted. Okay, so post board, we obviously don't want the Petrified Field. We do want the Flamecurtain. We're not so concerned about Elishnorn. This is one of those times where it would be nice to have Ashen Rider. I think we can cut Mindbreak traps. I'm not sure if I will. So I think I boarded wrong here. I think it's fine to have 4 Nature's Claims. I think we probably want 4 Nature's Claims plus 2 Wispmares. I'm not convinced on Ingot Chewer here. Although they will play artifact-based Grave Hate, but that's the kind of Grave Hate that they can just pop in response to. It's hard Grave Hate, so it'll just exile our graveyard if we go to remove it. Mindbreak Trap is less great against Oath. They're not so interested in casting a million spells, so we probably shouldn't have left it in. And yeah, definitely should have been more removal for Oath or similar. Alright, so we have to mulligan our first hand. Our second hand is obviously a keep. Ichoric Grave Troll, a couple of Nature's Claims just to make it a little bit better. So we're reasonably happy to keep that. And I think we probably... So we want either a land or another Dredger. I think we can live without all our bridges in this matchup. We only need enough to get a good Flamekin Zealot kill, which realistically 2 will do. And unfortunately our opponent is leading on a Tormod's Crypt, so I think we're probably going to be way behind before we ever get started. So I think we need to try to City of Brass the Crypt here. Oh, sorry, need to go City of Brass Nature's Claim on the Crypt here. And if this doesn't resolve, we're just going to try to do it again next turn. He's probably interested in just popping the Crypt instead of fighting over this. Oh no, okay. So, as I said before, we're not terribly concerned about this. We have another Nature's Claim in hand. I guess he must be a little way off, or must have been a little way off casting Oath there. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be so interested in fighting. I think he'd probably want to fight elsewhere. Just try to find another crypt or similar. Okay, now we're really out of the game. Because we went down to 4 nature's claims, we really need to start baiting crypts. So I think that was wrong. We wanted to dredge there. The reason we wanted to dredge there was to get one of the crypts to be used, and then we can just nature's claim the second. Okay, and this Magus of the Moat here is one of the reasons why I've since changed my sideboard to, my main board to include a Dragon Lord Colligan, and my sideboard to include an Ashen Rider. So we probably want to pitch the Misstep and then cast the to hold up the Serenity, perhaps. I think we want to hold the Serenity up here. So we wanted to leave that in our hand until he cast Oath, then we can Serenity, remove the Oath, and hopefully be able to get enough Narcomoebas or Stinkweed Imps to get through the Magus of the Moat. It's a pretty long shot, but I think we're happy to fire off a therapy here. He almost definitely doesn't have an Oath in hand. Otherwise, I believe he would have cast it. And the next turn, I think he's going to get to trigger Oath into something like Gisela, which is going to mean the end of the game for us. Or I'd assume that he's got Gisela in his main deck by now. Unfortunately, it's not very helpful that we're not finding much of use either. Not that we have much remaining. And so Drusilla, there is a 2-turn clock on us. It's not something we can interact with. We don't have Ashen Rider in this list. It's not something that we can play through, and it's not something that Narcomoeba will protect us from. So it's something that we, I think, honestly have to scoop to here. We're being a little bit hopeful, thinking maybe we have an out. And we're getting some creatures on the board for a Dredge return here. We would have liked to see that Wisp-Mirror a little while ago. And so, of course, he's just going to trigger Oath again. And cast his dig through time that I think he had. And be able to crypt us. At this point, I'm not sure what we're hoping for. He's just going to play out all this stuff. I imagine he's going to attack in a second. Needle Bazaar, just for good measure. He should probably just needle something like Savage Beating there or something, let's be honest. And just York's Will, so... Anything from here has just long since been academic. I guess maybe we can hope that he doesn't attack? I'm really not sure what we're hoping for here. Okay, so for some reason he doesn't. We get our wish. He chooses not to oath, and he's just going to get to swing for 17. Straight over the top. And there we have it.